Hey everybody, it's Jill for today. If you're new to my channel, thanks a lot for watching. Welcome. And if you like what you see, I hope you will subscribe. Give us a thumbs up when you can. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Today we are doing comments. I have gotten so many comments on the video that I posted about remembering the old Weight Watchers program. And some of them are just great. So I thought I'd go through them and read them. And there's quite a few, but I'll try to get through them quickly. And of course, you can always go down and look in the comments section. But a lot of times people don't do it. So if you want to see my video on remembering the old 70s Weight Watchers program, I'm leaving a link up there for you. Hope you check it out. Okay, Cat on Point, excellent channel. It's www.cat on point. Check her out. She has a lot of great Weight Watchers videos and planning and strategies. She's great. I really enjoyed this, Jill. Wow, such an interesting recap of the program from the 70s. I guess I know why our family had powdered milk all of a sudden in the 70s. SS Banner wrote, "Oh, how I remember the powdered milk and block of fish from my childhood." I thought I was the only one that knew about those blocks of frozen fish. My aunt and grandma were on Weight Watchers, and I remember the fish and liver. Sandra writes, "This brings back memories for sure. I used to make a tuna sandwich with mustard, just like me, but only use one slice of bread." Yeah, the one slice. If I toasted the bread, I could stand it up on end and slice it down the center. I love that, to make two thin slices. And then for breakfast, I would have one slice of bread with cottage cheese on top mixed with cinnamon and sweetener and broil it to make it a little brown. Yes, I remember that very well. It was okay. It was okay. And I also remember how much I hated the powdered milk and the liver. I'm amazed that you remembered so much in detail. Thanks. It was, I don't know, it was like I said, it was just kind of burned into my brain. Stephanie's Kitchen, another great channel. Check out Stephanie's Kitchen. Wow, I bet you lost a lot in the 70s. I did okay, because that plan was tough. Oh yeah, it was tough. I was only on Weight Watchers once for about 11 years ago. I lost about 30 pounds and kept it off until I got a promotion. Work will do it to you. Then I stopped watching when I ate and stopped my morning and midday walks. Yeah, my long hours have really put the pounds back on. I hear you, Stephanie. Working and trying to keep going on a diet or some sort of food program, it is hard. I know. And that's the whole thing about prepping, getting all those things prepped. It's hard. It is, I know. Lisa writes, "My mother was on Weight Watchers in the 70s. I remember the fish, tuna fish, and liver. She lost a lot of weight." Judy writes, "I joined in early 1980. I lasted a couple of months. My now ex could not take the liver each week, and I could not stand the tuna or the liver." Yep. Thank God for new science. Very interesting. I remember the blocks of fish. Isn't that funny? I really thought that I lived in kind of a deprived area. Evidently not. Cheryl writes, "I'm not a Weight Watcher. I'm from your vegan days, but wanted to say I love your hair." It's always about my hair. Okay. J. Ann writes, "I did Weight Watchers for the first time in 1971. So we're talking the same era, J. Ann. "First, I got Jean Eidach's book and lost 15 pounds and gained them back. Then I actually joined. You had to get doctor's permission." Oh, wow. I remember there being legal and illegal foods. Yes, and I still actually call them that to this day. I call things legal and illegal. I lost 25.5 pounds. Good girl. And I became a lifetime member. You added some foods to the diet. I remember adding exotic meats like hot dogs. I remember that too. If you got to go weight, you were able to start adding foods, and then you hit that area where you said, can I keep these many new foods in, or do I need to start scaling back? And that's how maintenance was. You're absolutely right. At that time, if you were on Lifetime, meetings were free. That's correct. I guess they are now if you are within a 2-pound goal. Oh, interesting. Freestyle is so much easier. I love most of the 0-point foods. My current goal is 2 pounds less than when I started Weight Watchers. Crazy. Anyway, I've rejoined more times than I remember, and decided this time it's do or die. Go for it. So glad you were going to be doing it. I'd love to see more good Weight Watcher recipes for the Instant Pot. I enjoy your program. Yes, I've got more lined up Weight Watcher Instant Pot recipes because, like Stephanie was saying, you come home from work after a long day and you're just busted. So maybe more slow cooker too. That would be real helpful for people who, don't have a pressure cooker. Ellen Whidbey, love Ellen. She lives up on Whidbey Island. My mother and I went to Weight Watchers in the early 80s. We stood in line to weigh in, and yes, everyone heard your weight. Oh, God. It's dreadful. It was not fun, but I guess that was one way to keep you accountable. I don't really remember the food criteria at all. It must have been blocked out. I do remember after the meeting, my mother and I would stop for Chinese food, and it was a real treat. What a great story. Oh, and I remember you mentioned the powdered milk. My stomach turned. Diane writes, wow, that old plan is super complicated. Thanks for sharing. It was so interesting. It was terribly complicated. Very complicated. And as I said, we just had a printout of a blank calendar, and you had these little boxes, and you had to write in the little boxes what you ate, the ounces, what time of the day. It was a problem. Patricia, I lost a lot of weight on it. It was awful compared to today. We had to make our own ketchup. Yes. And it did not taste like ketchup, but I ate it. Absolutely right, Patricia. Ketchup you could not eat on the plant. It was too high a sugar. You would take tomato juice and you would boil it, if I recall that correct, Patricia. You would boil that tomato juice down and add sweetener to it and a little vinegar. It was dreadful, but it was ketchup. I still wish it was $2 a week. I don't know what a current meeting is because I am online meeting. Jan writes, I was on the program in the late 60s. Wow, you brought back memories. I went with my mother and my sister. The powdered milk was Sanilac. I read that and I said, oh my gosh, Sanilac. I forgot about Sanilac. And the little Weight Watcher scales were so dinky. We ate a lot of tuna. I remember how everyone clapped even if you lost a half a pound. That's true, they did. A quarter pound, half pound. I lost about 20 pounds, but I gained it all back when I went to college. Does Oprah still have Weight Watchers? I think she owns it. Someone could confirm that. I don't know. I think she has a big invested interest in it. Lainey, I never went to Weight Watchers, but we did go on to a diet workshop in the 70s. Weight Watchers bought them out. Oh, how interesting. I don't know who that would be. Yes, no privacy at all. Food was very limited, I remember. Oh yeah, the powdered milk. Do you remember Alba milk? And yes, again, I remember Alba milk. I remember having it. It was in a can, I think. Wasn't it, Lainey? I'm trying to remember. Barbara writes, oh my gosh, I remember Mom going to Weight Watchers back in the 70s and the 80s. Thank God we can get what we like now. I started in 2010 and bananas was points. It's great now. Thanks. I look forward to thanks. I look for the following of the pasted. I'm not sure what that's saying there. Then she says, oh yeah, we've come a long way, baby. And Molly, this is a great one. What a fun trip down memory lane. I got my lifer pin in 1979. Congratulations, Molly. And I sure remember those days. My mom started Weight Watchers in the late 60s, and it was way stricter then. Mom's snacks were a whole can of green beans. Yes, I remember that so well. Can of green beans or a can of asparagus. Oh my God, it was dreadful. And the whole family had to eat the dreaded once-a-week liver. Do you remember the root beer floats made from a can of sugar-free root beer and your milk allowance? Yes, I do. And you would put in ice cubes and sweetener. You'd whiz it in the blender with ice. In the late 70s, the plan was much tastier and really easier to follow. I had no luck with Weight Watchers in the 80s, in the 90s, and then ended up having weight surgeries. It is a lifelong battle, and thank you for sharing your memories. My go-to breakfast used to be 1 ounce of Rice Krispies. Volume, baby. Yes, the bigger the cereal, puffed rice, puffed wheat, the bigger the ounce you could get, the better. 1/3 cup powdered milk, 1 beaten egg, 1 apple, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and a pack of a sweetener, a little diet margarine. I'd bake it in the oven for a little bit. We used to make bread pudding same way. You'd take your slice of bread and your egg, and you'd make like a bread pudding with cinnamon and sweetener. Yeah. You had to be creative and make some strange concoctions. Absolutely. I remember making a mock coconut impossible pie with spaghetti squash, sweetener, and coconut flavor. Love it. Debbie says, hallelujah for freestyle. I did Weight Watchers in the 80s. I don't remember what the program was like. It wasn't as easy to follow as freestyle, but surely it was easier than the program you described. I love these. I love all these comments. You can comment on the comments. And I know there was quite a few there, but they were so fun to read through and see old memories from people who were in Weight Watchers back in those days and where we've come. And like Barbara says, we have come a long way, baby. I don't attend the meetings, and I'm online, and someone had written to me asking about the freestyle program, and there was some cute confusion there about it, and I'm sorry to say I can't recall who the person was that wrote in. But if you're confused about the program and you want to be on the program, you probably should either join online or meetings. That might help. There's a lot of people on YouTube who are excellent as far as knowing the program, having to work the program, and you might check into other YouTube channels as well. But if there is anything I can help you with along the way, I sure hope you'll let me know. More videos coming up. I'm doing a pork loin with mashed parsnips on the side and a big romaine salad coming up. And so I got some good food coming up, and I hope you'll stay tuned. I hope you liked what you saw. I hope you'll subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I like that. Tell your friends. Pass this one on. If you have Weight Watcher friends, they might really enjoy watching it. And they also might enjoy watching that Remembering the Old Weight Watchers program. And I have an Amazon store. If you'd like to, I'm an affiliate. If you'd like to go through Amazon that way, I would appreciate it. And subscribe. There's a little bell next to that subscribe. And if you hit that, you'll always know when I'm uploading a video. Okay, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. Tell your friends, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.